Good morning. Saturday, I had to look at the date, June the 22nd.
That's right. We're running a little late.
Somebody
Sorry,
forgot there was a live today.
I've been humping it here lately, and
I said, Jason, we have to do a live this morning. Oh,
I've been humping it. I've
You
been
forgot.
tired. I have been worn out here lately, but we're getting it.
we're here. So much so that somebody forgot their underarm deodorant, and I told him he didn't have time, but I think
made it.
I think he thought I might exit early if he
I'm
didn't.
like the Flash.
If you didn't go put it on. So back downstairs he went.
Oh, me.
And we're here. We're here.
I was running. I may be a little out of breath. I was running.
It is officially summertime.
Yes, yeah, it is.
It's been officially summertime here since I think about the second week of May.
It's been rough. May was rough.
Well, there's a lot of places that have been rough, and there's a lot of places that it's not that hot yet.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it is what it is. Here we are.
We are here, and
coffee in tow.
Coffee's good this morning.
Jason made the pot, but I poured the cups, so.
Coffee is good this morning. Coffee. I saw somebody say that we should say what flavor we're drinking, but this morning we're just regular, the medium roast, the original.
Just the Coghill coffee. Mm-hmm. So if you saw my video, I made something with coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called coffee jelly. And
Mm-hmm.
I must confess, the first thing that I saw was a coffee jelly that was actually jarred jelly.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that probably would taste good on a biscuit, but I couldn't think of any other way to use it,
Right.
And I didn't think we would use that much of it. So that got me intrigued, thinking that you could, actually jar coffee jelly. And I found that and also in Japan, or Asia, I should say, coffee jelly is a big thing. And it's a dessert. And y'all, I'm going to tell you, that was something that you could be served in a high-end restaurant and be very, very pleased with.
It was good. And I saw some people say that I think they cut it in cubes,
right,
and put it in milk,
right, or cream,
mm-hmm. And that sounded good.
It did. We didn't do it that way. We made some homemade whipped cream and put it on top, but I think it'd be good any way you served it.
I think so too.
But my point was, when you started talking about flavored coffee,
yeah,
that a lot of people were saying, wonder what it'd be like with flavored coffee.
You know what? That's a good idea.
So that got my mind thinking that I might have to get you to make a pot of flavored coffee and give it a try.
We can do that. I'm not above making several pots of coffee if we need to.
It was so good. It was really good. I let my mama try it.
Donuts and coffee jelly. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let your
mama try it.
I let mama try it. And first I let her try it just the way I did Jason, without any kind of topping on it. And when Jason and I tried it, it had just been sitting the minimum amount of time. The coffee jelly itself did not have that much of an intense coffee flavor. Did you think?
No,
at that time?
It didn't.
But after we added the whipped topping, it was very intense coffee. But she thought that it had an intense coffee flavor from the get-go.
Really?
So
maybe because we drink.
I don't know. But she liked it nonetheless. She liked it, and once I added that whipped cream on it, she really liked it. Catherine, you are not supposed to be here. What you doing?
I missed it. There was a comment that I saw, and now I can't find it. It's okay.
But anyway,
there was someone that said that they would love to buy the coffee, but they're not computer literate and they didn't know how to get it. And I was going to say, if you could send Ryan an email, you can get on Facebook and get on live. So maybe you can send Ryan an email and he would work that out with you.
Well, we shall see. But it was a good little quick dessert.
My buddy's on here this morning.
Who's that?
Lester.
Lester.
So I got to tell you something.
Okay.
I got to come out. I'll be honest up front about it. So I saw Lester was on here when I, got the live going and said we're going to be live at 8:15.
Mm-hmm.
And so on YouTube, it kind of does this little premiere.
Mm-hmm.
So Lester was on here during the premiere.
Uh-huh.
We actually wasn't live yet, but if you're on YouTube, you can come in and start talking.
Oh, okay.
In a little chat box.
Okay.
And I saw Lester was here. And so I ran down there to put my underarm deodorant on.
Uh-huh. He left?
I did a hat swap.
Oh, okay. Confessions at their finest. Huh.
I did a hat swap this morning. Right here. I figure I'd give Alma some love because I've been wearing the Longhorn from time to time. But this morning I grabbed my Alma one this morning.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
I knew he'd get a kick out of it.
Goodness gracious. How about that?
Oh, big question. Big question. I know it's on everybody's mind. How's Eminem doing?
How are Eminem doing?
Like, I even got a cowl like this one. Listen, y'all. I'm telling you, I've been tired. I've been hustling, and I didn't even get a chance to wet that down this morning. We went out and did chores, and look at that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that looks crazy, don't it?
So we have visited with Eminem already this morning. And of course, they're getting along wonderful.
They are getting along great, y'all. It is
you don't see one without the other.
I'm gonna and I said it in the video, but I'm telling y'all the honest truth. I thought that they were. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to Mildred, lately in the pasture she was in, but she would be off
by
herself. And I kind of thought that Moody and Mildred would do the same thing too. I just figured that they would just go about their business. Cows are a little bit different, or they seem to be, because, it was kind of the same way in other pasture. I mean, he had Mo and Joe, and they hung out, but a lot of times Moody would be in the back pasture, and Mo and Joe would be in the front pasture.
Yeah, or Mo and Joe would be in the porta hut, and he would be
under his thing.
Yeah, or just grazing around.
So I just figured that they would kind of, look at each other for a few minutes or whatever, and that's it. They're going to go about their ways. I'm going to go eat grass over here. I'm going to go eat grass over here. That was not the case.
Well, I had different.
You thought they were going to react kind of like they did, I reckon.
Well, I know that there are lots and lots of cattle farmers around here. And I know that you don't see cattle separated from each other. Cattle are together.
No, I guess so.
They all seem to stay together.
And I didn't mean it per se like that. They're going to be, opposites, or negative and positive or anything like that. I just thought that they wouldn't show that much interest in each other.
I think it's just because cows are a herd and they stay right together. There is no
the socialization between the two of them, though. That's what got me. How they the licking and the head rubbing and
they like each other. Yeah. They like each other. I'm sure there are certain cattle that you put together that they just don't get along.
Well, I'm sure if we had two bulls and Mildred in there, it would not be good.
Well, even heifers. I'm sure you put heifers together sometimes and they just don't click.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can tell that they get along and they click, and and I'm so thankful for that.
I don't know what we're gonna do if they didn't.
I don't know what we'd do if they didn't either.
Because Moody is a big boy. Somebody said that they figured out who did my hair this morning.
Who?
Loretta.
Loretta did your hair. All right.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Man. So I go out first in the morning, usually straight to the barn because my baby
Gotta
goats
feed
have
the
to be
babies.
fed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously where Mildred and Moody reside. So I usually go on out there and feed them while I'm there if Jason hadn't already been out. So yesterday morning, routine, feed Peaches first, get the baby's bottles ready, feed the goats. I hear Moody and Mildred. They were making some moves, but it was because they knew I was feeding.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and feed you guys. So I go out and I look at the charger, and guess what? The charger was off.
You're not supposed to be telling people this.
Well, you are not supposed to leave it off. So a couple of days prior, I looked at the charger before I fed, and I saw that circle, and then I saw the line. That's the indications on this particular charger.
They're all
on
like
and
that.
off. Well, they're all different because the other one has one line and two lines. Two lines is off. And
But the
one line's
universal for on and off is the circle.
well, yeah,
line.
but not on all chargers.
Okay.
So I thought that the circle was off.
It is off.
I mean, on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that way. So I flipped it. Well, lo and behold, I turned it on instead of off. But I didn't get hit by the fence. I just turned it off just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So then Jason comes along, and he informed me after I told him he forgot to cut it back on that he went over there and I had cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually thought that I was doing the right thing until I Googled it.
Oh.
Until I realized.
Oh, I'm going to get it fixed today, though. Today, I'm getting it fixed.
Well, it's not like they're going to get out. It's just for them to keep from reaching their necks over and
tearing the fence
up. So, but it was kind of funny that they've only been there just a bit, and it was already forgot to cut it on. Yep.
Oh, me. It's they've been doing great. They really have. They have explored the pasture. We've seen them in the pine thicket.
Yes.
Matter of fact, the day we saw them in the pine thicket, day before yesterday, I can't remember when it was, but I went out there that morning to check on them. Nowhere, and I knew it wasn't true. But the first thing pops in my head is somebody done come over here and took my Moody and Mildred.
I'd like to see that.
That's what I said.
That would be interesting.
Oh, which could
they definitely have to make 2 trips.
They definitely have to make 2 trips. But I knew where they were, so I got in the side by side and I drove down there, and lo and behold, they were in the pine thicket. So they have definitely explored around, and I want to say that Mildred follows Moody and not vice versa. But you know what? Now that I say that, I would think Mildred is the explorer, not Moody. And Mildred's the one that went down to the pine thicket, and Moody followed her.
Well, the other morning when I was fixing bottles, the windows right there, I could look out the back pasture. And they were both side by side about halfway across the pasture. They weren't even interested in coming to eat that morning because they were so involved in their grass time.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, they just stay together. It's not like they're right on top of each other, but they're right there together. I mean, you see one, you're going to see the other.
Right.
But I must say, I am thrilled to know I don't have to put fence up today. It's just a relief knowing it's done, it's completed. We felt like that's been hanging over our head for 2 years now.
Oh yeah, all the fence, and since we've been hustling to get that one fence finished,
right?
You kind of forget about all the other fencing that we did prior.
Yeah, because that was the biggest job that we tackled.
Oh yeah, it was big.
I don't think they're going to be able to eat as much grass as over there, but we will see.
They're eating the grass. So.
Their routine is to come to the trough, to come when they see other animals be fed. But in reality, they don't have to have that.
Yeah.
We feed them the little bit of grain that we feed them just to keep them happy and satisfied.
Yep.
But there's enough grass out there to satisfy 25 head of cattle.
I don't know about 25.
We
But a
aren't
lot.
getting 25, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, but a lot.
A lot.
Yep.
Lot. Because you look across the street and there's lots of cows over there. And they can't handle that pasture when it gets to the growing season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's grass left over. And of course, he rotates his from pasture to pasture,
Mm-hmm.
but it's always grass.
It is always
And
grass.
he's got a lot of cows.
He's got a mess of cows now. I don't know how many he's got, but he got a mess of them.
Listen, I thought you were fixing to say something. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, goodness.
I'd like to know how many cows he has. I know he has 3 donkeys, but there's no way for me to count the head of cows that are over there.
Snow White, Tripod, and the baby. We call it the baby. It's not a baby.
It's not a baby
It's not
anymore.
a baby anymore.
No. But those 3 donkeys stay right with the cows for the most part.
Yep.
Wherever the cattle go, the donkeys go. And of course, donkeys have to have grass. I mean, they have to have pasture.
Well, donkey's just like a horse.
Right.
So yeah, they need to have grass or pasture or
hay.
Or really good hay.
Yeah, well, I mean, grass for first, but you see people that have horses on a dry lot, but they have great hay.
Got to have good hay.
Some people keep their horses stalled, of course, you know.
Especially in the wintertime. A lot of times people, you know, your grass is not like it should be in the wintertime, and you have to put the hay to them.
Yeah, but if they're on a dry lot, they've got to have hay.
Yeah, you got to have hay.
And they don't necessarily need grain. Donkeys don't.
Yeah, donkeys, horses, or cows.
They don't have to have the grain. It's just kind of a supplemental thing.
We mainly use the grain for, of course, there are some trace elements and minerals and stuff in it like that they may or may not get depending on what type of grass you have. We know we got really good pastures here with Bermuda and Bahia.
Mm-hmm.
But we also do it to try to help keep them tame.
Right.
So like when y'all saw in the last video when I wiped them down with the fly spray.
Yeah, if you didn't have a way to get them to come to you, then that's not going to be an easy task.
Good luck trying to run out there in that pasture and try to wipe them with fly spray.
So our feed store, what we feed Jesse and Honey is a high quality horse feed.
Yep. And
it was recommended to us by Klombach, their nutritionalist, and it's in a very small amount that we feed them.
Mm-hmm.
So my feed store was out this week. They had not gotten a shipment from Klombach. They had one bag there, but it had been sitting so long that he didn't want to sell it to me. So I had to go over to Prattville to pick up the feed, which I was so thankful that they had a bag in stock, because that's something that not everybody carries. It's kind of costly, but we don't go through very much of it.
Right.
Just I'd say less than a bag a month.
It lasts a long time.
The guy asked me, he said, "Do you need me to order this for you? How much of this do you go through?" And I said, "Well, I just feed too many donkeys.
Yeah.
So I might go through 6 bags a year, honestly."
Yeah, that's true.
So while Mary Carl went with me, Jason was here working. While we were there, we passed a thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, I've told y'all that Mary Carl fell into the thrift market.
She loves thrifting.
She loves thrifting. And so we saw that store and she said, "Mama, when we get the feed, can we go over to that thrift store?" And I said, "Of course." So we got our feed, and that was our main reason for going over there, was to get Jesse and Honey's food.
Mm-hmm.
So we were done, basically. We go in this thrift store, and y'all, there were the same people that I thrifted with in my 18 to 40 time frame, when I was there every Friday morning at 9:00, and every afternoon when I went to go get Mary Carl from school, I'd stop in. So I'm in Prattville, not either of me nor this other lady's, residence.
Right.
I go in, I make eye contact with this lady, Brooke. I was like, yeah, it was one of my old thrifting buddies.
That's crazy.
And I could not believe that she was still doing it.
That is crazy.
She said that she did not live in Selma anymore. Mm-hmm. So she had found other, thrift stores to go to. And she couldn't believe me Carl was 14 because, of course, she remembered me pregnant. And here Mary Carl is almost taller than I am. And she was like, "This is your baby? I can't believe she's this big." And I told her, I said, "The apple didn't fall far from the tree because here I am
with her.
Here I am with Mary Carl." And it's kind of like now, we work so much and have so much to do here that's not something I get to do very often,
right,
unless I'm with Mary Carl. So it was kind of a good time to get to go hang out.
I like going thrifting with her. It's fun.
Well, it was just so funny to see that lady in there that I had known for so many years. And here she was.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a totally other city, and this was, of course, there's multiple thrift stores in Prattville, and to be in this one at that very time, yeah,
that is crazy. Talking about being tall, I told you yesterday, I think she's gonna be taller than both of us. I really do.
Yep, Mary Carl is well, she measured 5'2" at the doctor's office with no shoes.
Okay.
But still, I mean, she's only 14, so.
She certainly looks taller than that.
Well, I'm 5'4", so.
Okay.
With shoes on, her shoes that she wears most of the time have a heel on it, so she looks taller than me.
And she likes to wear boots, so yeah, that does make her taller.
It makes her taller than me in my flat tennis shoes. But it was a weird happening. I
saw somebody asked about Mildred wanting to go back in her stall in the evening times, but that hadn't been the case.
No, that hadn't been the case at all.
Hasn't been the case at all.
She only went in the stall to eat. We did not lock Mildred up at night. That would not have gone well. She didn't want to stay in there all night.
No.
So there's not a whole lot of difference. I mean, she eats in her trough with Moody, and then they have the open area that they can go to for shelter. Now, something that I saw a lot was that we shouldn't have put that water under that shelter.
Really?
And I have never second guessed putting the water under the shelter.
Me either.
I have thought that was the perfect solution. They thought we should put the trough under the shelter and the water out in the open.
Now, I kind of like the water. Now, I will say this: the silver waters, believe it or not, don't get near as hot. Well, I guess it makes sense. Don't get near as hot as the black ones do, and that's a pretty deep water as well. But I thought it'd been a lot better in the shade.
Yeah, well, because we have shade to put it under.
Right.
If we didn't have shade, we'd have no option.
Right.
But, we never thought about putting the feed trough under the shelter. They eat first thing in the morning. It's not that hot at that time. They're standing out there for literally 5 minutes, and then they're done.
So, I talked about it in the last video why we did it all.
But there were a lot of questions saying that we shouldn't have put that trough under the water. They said when we dump it out to clean it, it's going to get their area all wet. But they don't go under there and lay down. We haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's. I think it's in the best place it should be.
Yeah, I think so too. But we can always move it. If it's not, we'll see.
I just was a little bit shocked to see that people thought that wasn't the right place to put it.
I don't know. Now I saw a lot of comments in the last video about Moody pushing Mildred away. And I edited the video, and then I went back and watched it. I mean, that really wasn't that much of a push. We've seen way worse pushes. That's just normal. That happens with the goats every time we feed. That happens with, believe it or not, the honeymooners, Loretta and Gus, every time we feed.
It even happens with me and Jason. I mean, when I'm hungry and I need to eat, he's gonna get out of my way.
Oh goodness, that wasn't that bad at all. I mean,
no, it wasn't.
And then she came back and ate. So there's and plus too, like we said earlier, the grain is just kind of a treat more than it is anything. But oh, that was funny. But they all do that. All animals do it. If
Dogs do it.
Yeah, they all do it.
Rocky and Bandit do it. As a matter of fact, this is what happens with Rocky and Bandit. They have 2 food bowls.
Listen, it's like the honeymooners. You're right. They have 2 food bowls.
They have 2 food bowls.
And tell them what one of them does.
And no matter what happens, every single time the bowls are filled up, Rocky, it's Bandit that does the flipping, isn't it?
Well, so I caught him doing something. I've never seen him actually take the bowl and just flip it over. And
he puts his paw on it.
This is what I saw him doing the other day. He did the Loretta. The bowl was about half full of dog food.
He picked it up in his mouth and took off with it?
He picked it up with his mouth. He ain't run now. But he just did.
Who was it that was doing it?
Bandit. And he just, his slow, you know how Bandit is, just ba-doop, ba-doop, this slow little steady pace, and sat it down and started eating.
It doesn't make sense because there's 2 bowls.
There's 2 bowls.
They don't fight over their
and
food.
There's no growling or anything.
No growling, no fussing. No one food is better than the other one. But what I see Bandit doing is putting his paw on it until it all goes over the concrete.
He does. Y'all,
and it looks like they're playing marbles.
And it's every day. I quit getting it up. I just leave it there now.
Well, there's no point in getting it up because they're going to do it again.
I can go out there because that food bowl is going to be empty and there's going to be dog food on the ground, on the concrete, on the side porch. And I can fill that bowl up and I can go back there in an hour and that food bowl is going to be empty and there's going to be more dog food on the concrete.
And you know, I've looked for different things. Like at TJ Maxx, they have a large variety of dog stuff. So they have these stands, you know, that you can put dog food in. But I think they just knock it over.
I think Bandit would knock it. I just think that's the way he does it. That's just the way he is. And I have never seen 2 dogs from the same litter that are brothers, the so exact opposite of each other. It is amazing, y'all. Bandit lives in the creek behind the house.
Yes. He's wet. I mean, when we wake up in the morning, he's wet. He's already been down there.
He is. And his hair's always nasty because I brush him once a week. Y'all ought to see him right now when I brush him. You ought to see our front yard. So it's hot. So they're kind of shedding that undercoat. And I got an undercoat brush. And it's just, it looks like snow outside.
It does.
But Rocky loves to be brushed. And if you look at him, his hair looks perfect almost.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Chaz Dean, the hair guy.
Oh, yeah. The hairstylist.
The hairstylist. His hair's just perfect. You know what I mean?
It is. But Bandit, y'all, and they got 2 totally different types of hair. But Bandit, he goes in that creek. I can brush him, and 30 minutes later, he's gone to the creek, and he evidently he's got him a mud waller. You know what? I'm telling you, he must be living, or him and Loretta must be having some conversation because he carries his bowl like Loretta.
Yeah.
And he's definitely rolling around in the mud like Loretta.
Yeah, for sure.
He comes back, and it's just caked on him.
It's caked all over him. And there is no getting it off because as soon as you get it off,
he goes right back on it again.
I don't know where he.
I don't. We might
maybe she lets him in her pasture. Maybe they share the wallow.
Maybe it opens up the gate, lets him in, and shuts it back.
We just hadn't seen it yet.
That's what it seems like. Oh my!
But
gracious.
Rocky's never wet.
No.
I don't know if he doesn't go with him or if he just sits there and watches Bandit till he gets finished.
He totally opposites of each other. You know, Rocky knocks the food over. I mean, Bandit knocks the food over. Rocky don't.
No.
He should have a boat.
Right.
I don't know.
I know what it is.
What's that?
Rocky's trying to get an invite into the house.
You reckon that's what it is?
Trying to get an invite into the house.
Man. Oh my goodness. I will say this though. That Gus and Loretta, you can't even tell what color they are. They live in that waller.
They do.
Live in it.
They love it. They love it.
Y'all saw in the other video, the last video, of them side by side, dead asleep. And of course, Gus is snoring. Loretta don't snore like that.
Well, Gus needs a CPAP.
You know, I was just I made a short out of that clip because it was so funny. And somebody said, "Well, now they know why Loretta's deaf."
Because Gus snores too loud. That's funny.
Oh man,
That is funny.
oh, I tell y'all what, if we're over there helping with the bees or anything, or doing something on the backside with hay,
Uh-huh.
and Gus is in that porta hut, y'all can hear him literally 50 yards.
And I've never heard Peaches snoring.
Never heard Peaches snoring either.
I've heard Loretta a little bit,
A little bit, yeah.
but it's a low tone compared to what Gus does.
What's crazy is if he's in that porta hut, it's like an opera house. You know, it just echoes out.
Right.
It just bellows out. I mean, it is so loud.
I don't know how she deals with him. Well, I do know how. She lost her hearing.
Oh, he can snore. And I get tickled. I mean, as soon as I hear it, I can't help myself.
You can almost hear it when you walk out the door.
You can.
And that's a good little bit away from here.
Oh,
But
man.
he sleeps hard.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, I wonder if animals do have sleep apnea.
I don't know.
If there's any studies done on that where
I don't know.
quit breathing because I don't know. I don't know either.
Oh, man, he's a mess. Oh,
Gus
my
would be a
gracious.
good candidate, that's for sure.
He would be a good candidate. If he goes to sleep, he's going to be snoring.
He's gonna be snoring.
There's no doubt. Oh, goodness.
So yesterday, Mr. Donnie Volkswagen came.
He did.
And so that meant Mary Carl and I were looking for something to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So earlier in the week, I started thinking of things that we could do. She doesn't care about shopping unless it's thrifting. She doesn't care. I mean, it's so hot that you're limited to what you can do.
Yeah. Our little cold snap, which was in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
It didn't
Well,
last
it was
very long.
comfortable during that time, though. You could actually
It
do
was.
something outside.
It was.
But yesterday was different. So
It was rough.
about the beginning of the week, I started thinking about things that she and I could do to occupy, our Friday.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many days when we're not together.
Mm-hmm.
So I started thinking of a place that we went. It's been a while back, and we enjoyed it. And it's called, was it
Rickwood Caverns.
Rickwood Caverns or Rickwood State Park. They have a swimming pool that is fed by a spring
Yeah.
that is in the cave.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So the water stays that spring temperature in the swimming pool continuously.
Mm-hmm.
Cool water, right? So I asked her, I said, do you want to go to the Rickwood Caverns and swim? Sure. Well, they had a high dive the last time we went, which was fun, for her. I ain't going to jump off of it. But so we planned to go there yesterday, and we did. We left out yesterday morning, got in some traffic. Of course, 65 is just
Terrible right now.
you never know what to
Yeah.
expect. Well, she tells me on the way up there that she wanted to do the cave tour. And we had done that once before. And we've been to 5 caves. We figured it out yesterday. Total of 5. Ruby Falls.
DeSoto.
Well, that's Mystic now.
Uh-huh.
Cathedral. The one in Florida. And then Rickwood.
Thought there was one more.
I don't
It's
know.
not.
I don't think
Thought
so.
there was one more.
Dismals, but that's not a cat. That's not a
it's
cave.
not a cave.
So,
What wasn't there a cavern near Dismals? That was Cathedral, wasn't it?
yeah.
Okay.
So I remember going through the tour quite
Mhm.
well. And there was one thing that stuck out in my mind, but I didn't want to, steal her thunder from going on the tour. She wanted to do it, then I was up for it. So we got there and the pool was slap packed with people. And with her being by herself, I would have swam with her if she wanted me to, but
Mhm.
with her not having a friend with her, it really wasn't that fun. Really
Yeah,
wasn't that much to do.
yeah.
And besides that, when we got there, the high dive was gone. So that was the first thing we noticed when we pulled up. The high dive was gone. She was looking forward to diving off that high dive. They did have a slide. She went down it a few times, da da da. So when we first got there, we signed up for the 2:00 cave tour, which I remember so much about that I didn't want to do it. So I go in, and the lady says it's a little over a mile, and there are 135 steps at the end all at once. That's the part I remember.
It is like this.
There was 300 and something total steps throughout the cave system.
Yeah.
So, of course, the cave was cool. It was like 60 degrees. It stays that way year round. And the tour was with a group of whoever signed up to go. So we got in a group that was kind of didn't do what they were supposed to. They didn't pay attention. They talked over the guide, whatever. But I wanted to show y'all a few pictures from the cave. This is one of the rock formations with the big hole in the center of it. That's you can see some of the stalagmites hanging from the
stalactites.
Tight hangs from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Might reach the top. Another one. So y'all, what stood out to me when she said that she wanted to do the cave tour was those steps at the end. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care if you're 20, or 80.
Yeah.
Those steps are something to it.
It's just like this.
It's just like this.
It
It's
is.
a continuous 135 steps straight up to the end. And I did not forget that. We had a good time, but I sure didn't want to steal her thunder by saying I don't want to do the cave tour because I don't want to go up all those steps. That was not the best of the caves that we've been to, but it did break up our day. The best one to me that we've been to is Cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Cathedral Caverns that's the one that had the bridge, isn't it? That went in the water above it.
Yeah, Cathedral was awesome. They're all awesome, but Cathedral was one that is just huge.
Wide open.
It is. It just blows your mind how big it is in there. And I don't know. It seems like there's a theme to me with these caverns, except Cathedral wasn't like that. And it's usually they have like somebody that's either in college or high school that does the tour.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Uh-huh. This was the same lady that did ours last time.
Was it?
Yep.
And maybe Rickwood wasn't like that. Sometimes the whole tour is nothing but dad jokes. You know what I mean?
That's the way this was.
Was it?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny at first, but over an hour or so long to me, and I'm a silly, goofy, and got a sense of humor like nobody's business. Everything's funny to me, but I don't know, it just kind of gets old, especially if you've been to several of these caverns and they all have the same, just the typical kind of corny dad jokes throughout the whole thing. And I guess they do it because not everybody's serious or whatever. I don't know. But that just seems to me.
I'll tell you that. Nobody laughed at any of the corny little
Really?
sayings. Nobody laughed.
Cathedral wasn't like that. Cathedral was
serious.
It was just kind of laid back, but it wasn't like,
Well, that was the guy that was on the cart, wasn't it?
Which one had the little tiny brown bats?
That
Rickwood?
had to have been, no, it was Cathedral.
Okay, that's right.
Because the gentleman was in a motorized wheelchair.
I got you.
That led the tour. Remember?
That's right. Yeah.
We were the only people on the tour.
Yeah, that's right. Because it was
late.
It was during COVID too.
Yeah, and it was dark outside. Remember?
Yeah, it was dark outside. Yeah, we were the only ones. It was awesome. Matter of fact, he said we could ride on his little electric scooter too if we wanted to.
Yeah, we didn't want to walk all the way back. But I tell y'all what, if they'd offered me some way to get out of that cave yesterday without climbing those 135 stairs, I certainly would have. The gentleman in front of me had two boys, and one of them was about 3, and the other one, he was probably 8 or so.
Yeah.
But the 3-year-old, he was having a hard time. So the daddy was having to carry him most of the way, and I didn't see their reaction when they went out the 135 stairs, but I imagine it wasn't good. All the people behind us were.
It's rough now.
I mean, it is straight up. It's
rough.
not like it's a. And I looked at my pedometer when I got finished, And it said I only went up 9 flights of stairs. Now, how in the world is that possible?
That thing don't know.
The day before, on Thursday, I went up 25 flights of stairs. So there's no way that's accurate. But it did. It broke up our day, and enjoyed the time with Mary Crawl, even if I did have to climb up all those stairs.
Where is Cathedral Cavern?
It is in Warrior, Alabama.
Is it? It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
They all are. That is one thing that we all three enjoy, are the cavern tours. We really do.
Well, do y'all remember Mary Crawl and I went to the Pigeon Nationals in Kentucky?
That's right.
Well, I plotted out that trip for weeks ahead, and we were so hoping to get to go to Mammoth Cave, which is on the way. We passed right by it, but the weather was so bad that the roads were iced over in places, and we needed to get home. But that is somewhere that I want to go back.
Yeah, we do want to go to Mammoth. Clack said that 15 steps makes a flight. So it's 135, right?
Yeah.
So that's 9 flights of stairs.
Well, that's not it, though. It was 300 plus stairs throughout the whole cave.
Oh, well, I'm just saying 9 flights is still, and it said, how many did you do?
It said I did 9 flights.
But not for the entire day. You would have done way more than 9 flights. I know,
that's what I'm saying. It's not right. But Thursday, I supposedly did 25 flights.
That's crazy.
I must have walked to Mars.
Oh, goodness.
But I don't remember going up any stairs Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did Thursday.
I wonder if the guide at Mammoth Cave is the corny dad joke guide.
I don't know. Ruby Falls is cool.
They all are. Now, when I was a kid, it's crazy how things change, I guess, because of red tape and safety and insurance versus, then and now. When I was a kid and we went to Ruby Falls, you could walk all the way around
the fall. Yeah.
Can't do that no more.
Nope, it's roped off.
It's roped off. You can be in front of it, and you're a good ways from it too. It's not like it was. As a matter of fact.
You'll never find that picture.
It is. I've saved that picture because it's one of my favorites.
But I sure wish that Mary Crawl and I had stopped at Mammoth Cave. I mean, drove right by it.
Yeah.
We had Fenia with us, and it was cold, and it just wasn't feasible.
Oh, here's the entrance to Cathedral.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a cool entrance, too.
That's the entrance to Cathedral right there.
Look how wide open it is.
It is.
And that one's in North Alabama. I can't remember where exactly it is.
So huge. You're right. I can't find it.
Well, I knew I couldn't find it. So
it's on here. I did not get rid of it. It's one of my favorite pictures.
But we enjoy cave tours.
We do.
If that's something that you've never done and you have a cave system near you, give it a try because it's they're all pretty cool.
Well, there's the entrance to Ruby Falls. Right there.
Oh, we went to there during Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Well, there were Christmas lights. That's what it made me say.
Yeah, Ruby Falls. That's not the picture I was thinking about, though.
There's a picture of us standing in front of that roped off area.
It is. It's one of my favorite pictures. Oh, well.
Dee Dee says she had to go.
Dee Dee's gone. She said, I'm tired of looking at pictures.
I'm tired of cave talk.
I'm tired of caves.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I've often thought about, because sometimes you can do these little tours where you put the ropes on and you actually, go through but I'm not big claustrophobic, but I am somewhat, and I don't like feeling that I'm stuck.
I have read about certain cave systems that we could go to in Alabama that you have to crawl through.
Yeah.
I am not interested in that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not physical that I can't do it. My mind can't take it.
Yep.
I can't get through those little cracks and think about not being able to turn around and get out. I just can't do it. There's lots of people that like that kind of thing.
Yep.
But Brooke can't do it.
Yeah, it would. That'd be crazy.
There are 3 places where you can experience complete darkness.
Mhm.
Do you know what they are?
Definitely the caves.
Cave is 1. What's number 2?
Complete darkness. The ocean.
Complete, the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Complete and total darkness, where you can't. I mean, there's no light can get through.
Is any of them man-made?
No.
Okay. I don't know then. I don't know the third one.
Space.
Oh, I was thinking here.
Well, that is here.
No, you outside.
Well, 3 places
Okay.
that you can experience total darkness.
In the universe.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Not
sorry.
on Earth.
I should have clarified.
Oh, man.
We got a smoke detector that's
We got a
doing
battery.
a test.
That's the first time we had to got a battery chirping.
Yep, got a battery chirping. But I don't know.
You forgot what you was fixing to say, didn't you?
I forgot.
Forgot what you was fixing to say.
I did forget.
A lot of people are saying Missouri is known as the cave state. Did you know that?
I know what I was going to say. Looking around outside Rickwood when we were waiting on the tour to start or whatever, there's big giant boulders here, there, and everywhere. And there's a lot of that around here.
It is.
Not necessarily on our property, but in our area. And that made me start thinking, you know how many caves there probably are that are undiscovered?
Oh, there's no telling.
There is no telling. And this particular cave that we went to yesterday was discovered in 1870. And they used it as a fallout shelter for 15 years or so.
Oh, wow.
And then the state bought it, and they hired Boy Scouts to come in and do the work, and they paid them $1 a day.
That's crazy.
$1 a day to haul rocks in and out to make it accessible.
That's what I say, because a lot of them, they'll find them.
Yeah,
and
but
they
not
don't
accessible.
Look nothing like they do when they're done. They do a lot of.
Well, the state acquired it. It was in the 80s. And the price tag was like $340,000 in the 80s, which I thought was a very high price for back then.
Maybe so. A lot of times the state will kind of, not give you what it's worth.
Well,
that's what I read on the Cavern.
I felt like that was very.
Maybe so. I don't know how many acres it is there.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I was shocked that they disclosed all that information.
Yeah.
During the actual tour.
Interesting.
So there's no telling how many caves there are that are undiscovered that you may walk right over and not even know they're there.
We didn't do the Lost Sea, did we? We didn't do that one, or did we? That was in Tennessee. We went to Tennessee. We had planned on going to the Lost Sea. It's the glass bottom boat.
No, we did not.
Okay, I did that as a kid. Nanny and Granddaddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's in a cave too, isn't it?
That's in a cave too.
And what part of Tennessee is it?
It was north of Chattanooga, because we went to Chattanooga and, had fun there. And we were planning on going there, but I can't remember.
We went on Thanksgiving. We were there Thanksgiving Day.
We were.
And there was nowhere to eat. Everything was closed. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because we thought we could get something good. I forgot. What did we end up doing?
We went to a little diner that was like an old-timey.
Oh, that's right. Like an old 50s diner.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yep. So
I love them.
Dee Dee growling at something. She must be able to see things we can't.
She hears the dogs barking outside.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Sweetwater, Tennessee is what somebody said.
Sweetwater, Tennessee.
But that's the kind of things we enjoy doing. Well, not necessarily just caves, but hiking and outdoor activities. And didn't think we were going to get on the topic of this, but
you never know when this is going to go.
You never know.
You never know.
So we missed Jason yesterday, but he didn't miss that flight of stairs.
No, I was working on the bus. Me and Mr. Donnie, we were working hard. It's crazy how fast time flies, because next thing I know, we've been working on that thing for 6 hours. Did you know
Next thing you know is I was on the way home and
it's not running. We got the if you know anything about engines, you got a long block and you got a short block. Long block is the complete motor, which is your block and then your heads. So that's called a long block. Short block is just without the heads. And we pretty much got the long block all put back together. So we got the camshaft, the crank, all the engine bearings, the oil pump. Gosh, I forgot what else. We got all that. Pistons. We got all that put back together. And had some little issues. It's like Donnie works on a lot of Volkswagens, and so he has like oodles of Volkswagen parts. And he knew there was the vacuum advance, which is a little vacuum cylinder that goes on side of the distributor, was not working properly. The one we had, it would stick from time to time. And so he brought one from his house, and it didn't match up quite right. And I told him the hose didn't match up. This, I think, because, I'm on a farm, I'm going to make it work. I said, well, we can just take a drill bit and drill that hole out just a minute, because it's like 1/8 of an inch. He said, no, we don't need to do that.
He didn't need to do that.
We didn't need to do that.
Well, I'm glad he was here then.
Because that's what I would have done. I'd have drilled that hole out and made it match up. So come to find out, it was the wrong one. And I ended up having to order a new distributor because I couldn't find I found one. I did find one. I could find the vacuum advance I needed, and it was only like $25 or $30. But guess what?
What?
It was over the par. It was.
That's what I found with everything
somewhere.
everything interior when
Yeah.
we first got it that I was looking to replace, fabric, whatever else. There was an armrest that I needed. It was overseas.
But usually I could tell because everything's in pounds.
Yeah, but this wasn't that way.
This wasn't that way. It
I
was
even
a
went-
dollar sign.
I went so far as to add it to my cart.
Yeah, I did. I added it to the cart, went to check out, and it said $52. Shipping. I was like, "There's no way it's $52 shipping. That must be after tax." And I went to check out, and it was $90 for this one $30 part, basically. And I was like, "Gee whiz! I can get a whole distributor for like $10 more." So I ended up having to get a new distributor, but we're getting close though. We're getting close. I think next time we're going to put the heads on and get the engine completely done. I don't know if we'll have time to put it in the truck itself or in the bus, but
Well, I
getting
better come
close.
up with somewhere to go then. I got a little bit of time to think about it.
Oh, me.
I don't know where we're going to go next time, but I am not climbing 135 stairs at one time. Maybe we'll go ice skating. Except I'm not skating. I can't skate. I see a lot of people asking about the Victoria Crown Pigeon egg and why have I not talked about it? Well, because there's nothing, y'all. Nothing's happened. I pulled up the live feed so y'all could see that one of them, I don't know if it's him or her, sitting on the nest, and this is just the way it's been. So that's why I haven't talked about it, because I don't have anything to share except for still sitting on the nest. So in my video, I showed that I went out right after seeing what I thought was a little odd behavior. And then Mary Carl confirmed that they were just swapping places. But when I went out, I found the egg had rolled out of the nest. And I think I got there just right in the nick of time. Because
I think so too.
I don't think it had been out of the nest very long. But I did put it back in there, and I did get to hold it in my hand and see that there was an actual egg. So yeah, I mean, we're on egg watch. Today is actually day 30. If she had an egg when I first started calculating.
That's true, because you
I don't know.
I don't know. We're guessing.
We're guessing today's day 30. She's been on the nest for 30 days, but she may not have laid an egg at that point.
Right.
So I promise y'all, I'll let you know, because I'm just as excited as any of you are. And I'm just fingers crossed that everything's okay.
I hope.
I shined the egg with a flashlight. I could see that there was actually something inside of it, but I did not see like pecking or trying to escape, and I didn't hold it that long either. I wanted to get it back in the nest, and all I had was my phone flashlight. So just fingers crossed that they actually are able to hatch that baby out and take care of it.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so.
If there was anything I could do to help them, I promise you I would. But I was not going to put it in an incubator and take it away from them. I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do.
I can't see you climbing up there and sitting on the egg helping them.
You can't?
I can't see.
Well, I tell you, as hot as it's been, you're going to find me off of the egg more than on the egg.
Oh, goodness.
But let's hope. Let's hope that. I mean, I know that there was a baby in there at one time. It was a dark spot in there. There's no doubt that it was fertile. Things don't form like that on their own.
No, not at all.
So,
yeah.
Y'all fingers crossed everything is well and that it hatches.
Mm.
But I was not happy watching them swap places and see that nest do like this. And, you know, in the world of people that breed these birds and take care of them in aviaries, they build platform nests. And that's what I did in that other corner where the camera was focused on, where they first nested.
Yep.
But they chose that spot, and they chose to not have the platform.
I don't know why they built it in the platform to start with.
I don't know.
But she never laid in there.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Mary Carl and I, we contemplated taking that nest down.
Yeah.
That one that was built. So maybe they would, you know, rebuild.
Right.
I don't know what they're thinking, but nature is powerful. So let's hope that they have more sense than either me or Mary Carl do about nesting.
Oh, Ruth said that if you ever go on a lighthouse tour, lighthouse is 300 steps to 400 steps, pretty much.
I can remember one time, way long time ago, a friend of yours gave us University of Alabama football tickets. And the game was not a very good team that they were playing.
Yeah.
But I went with you because you got the tickets.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, it was free. So we get there and we're looking where our seats are. And y'all, that's the most steps I've ever climbed. It was the tip top of the stadium. You could look over the outside and see the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was, that stadium holds 100,000 people. So you can imagine.
It was up the thing there. I guess they got an elevator, but it's tipped mainly for handicap and the elderly. And
well, we were perfectly healthy.
And we were young then.
Like I said, I don't care how young you are. Nobody wants to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a time in my life when I was in high school where I would go to the stadium, the Memorial Stadium, and run those stairs for exercise.
Ain't that crazy?
For exercise and to try to get myself, you know, stronger. I ain't doing that now.
I always think about me and my cousin went to a big game. This was a big game. And we were playing, I'm not going to say who it is, but Alabama was playing a pretty big team. And this is either Nick Saban's first year or second year. I can't remember who it was. And so Alabama lost the game in overtime. And there were some, I'm sure that they may have been, you know, and they were rude, very, very rude. And they were young. And they were just the rudest. And they were just all the way down that spiral thing.
With y'all?
Just everybody that was around.
Oh,
just
goodness.
They were just, I'm telling you, it was bad. And they kept on. And next thing I know, I heard a voice. And you could tell by the voice, if you closed your eyes and heard this voice and pictured what this person sounded like, it's exactly what they looked like. There was a voice behind us that said, hey, you boys, you might want to quiet it down a little bit. And that's all he said. That's all this meant. And I turned around and looked, and y'all, there he was. Grizzly Adams, stone wash, wore out overalls. And I think he had a t-shirt on. And an old Alabama ball cap, and you know it was like this right here. And those boys, and he's big. He was a big fella. And them young boys, there's about 5 of them. They turned around and looked, and I was about halfway. They didn't say another word the rest of the way down the stairs. I got so tickled. But I'm telling you, if he had a red handkerchief in his back pocket, it wouldn't have shocked me. I'm telling you, he was exactly. When that voice came out, he was exactly what big white beard. He was a big fella, country strong.
Well,
country strong. They didn't want to mess with him.
That's how brawls get started.
It is how they get started. They didn't want to mess with that old fella. I can tell you that. he would have took all 5 of them. I know
You
he
think?
would. Yes, goodness.
Hmm.
He would have took all 5 of them. He would have. Oh my God. I think me and my cousin laughed all the way down.
Oh,
We
good.
did.
Well,
That
you
was a
knew
big
he
fella.
had your back, so
Oh,
you could laugh.
We could laugh.
You could laugh from that point forward.
Oh, we.
Goodness
Oh,
gracious.
goodness gracious. Oh.
So, what we got planned today?
We got we got stuff we gotta do. We got stuff we gotta do.
It's not laid out, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Right?
It's gonna happen. Y'all, I guess the next biggest thing that we're gonna start on, somebody said we need to take us a break. But the next biggest thing we need to start on is gonna be the Alabama potager garden in the back.
That's right.
I think that's gonna be the next thing we're gonna start on. So we may piddle with that some. It's gonna be hot, so we gotta kind of watch yourself because there's no shade back there.
No shade back there.
Always we're at the other farm, 90% shade.
Yep.
It was hard for me to grow anything that took full sun. Really was hard. So everything I grew was kind of shade. We had hydrangeas, we had azaleas, hostas. Everything was shade loving, and always like, man, I want full sun. I want to grow, just so much stuff. And now I got stuff that I want to grow. I got hostas, and somebody gifted me 2 dogwoods. Then they like the shade and semi-shade, and I've been trying to come up with a good spot to plant those in the fall. I got Catherine gave us a beautiful hydrangea, and it's not a full sun thing, so I got to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out though. I'm gonna find me some little microclimates around here that don't get full sun.
Maybe we'll find us a cave.
Maybe so.
I wish we could.
Oh man,
They just fascinate me.
yeah,
Fascinate me.
they do.
Well, Dee Dee has found her a blanket to lay on.
Yeah.
She's gotten off the couch, and I think she's ready to wrap things up. She said, we got work to do. We got things to do. So
That's right.
our plan is to be back here on Tuesday at 4:00.
Yep.
And then video, of course, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, and Sunday.
That's right.
Man, that's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
Maybe we do need a break.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Anyways, hope y'all have a fabulous, fabulous, and wonderful Saturday.
weekend.
Oh, we gotta do it.
Mine's empty. Is yours empty?
Yeah, mine's gone.
Oh, yeah. It
Mine's
was a
gone.
good one, too.
It was a good one.
So, y'all be good.